Hi everyone, Clifton here with another live stream. Hope you're good, hope you're well. I stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 6 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. I've got the new website. I have talked about it in a video. In fact, I walked through the whole thing, but it's actually live now and I've made some changes. If you're thinking about setting up an online portfolio to demonstrate your work, if you are like me, a photographer or a designer, Adobe Portfolio is what I used, and in fact I deleted my old website. It's no longer there anymore, and I'm running everything solely from the new website through Adobe Portfolio. Gonna try it. As a photographer, I use both Lightroom and Photoshop. I think if you have the all apps plan, so you're paying for everything, it's included as well. I'm not sure about the other ones. So if you've got Adobe Premiere, it might not be included. Check with your subscription. cliftonjohnston.com, that's where you can see my portfolio. This is the welcome page. You can set your welcome page as the home page, which is what I have done. It's also the 404 page. We'll click on the enter website button, and this is what the first page looks like. Here, this has got a masthead, and what I have here with this background image, you might just be able to see it. You can move that image around, and that's what I'm doing with this image on the other pages. So that's a little bit different from what you see here on the first one. I've swapped out the title text that was here previously for logo. That'll resize depending on the size of your screen. At the moment it's very small. You can look through the images on each one of these pages. You can select an image. I've added this one as a new one. If you get right to the very end, then it just goes back to the beginning again. So it does that all for you, which I really like. I'll close that. There's also this here. That is an option you can add to every page. If you select that, then I'll just scroll up to the top. It moves quite nicely as well. And then I mentioned these last time. These allow you to go through to different pages that you might also like. And I think it just picks them all randomly. And you can just select, let's say this one here, this page. We go through to the about page. You can position images to the right and then have your body of text like so. The majority of the text I've set to this sort of brown color, but here I've modified the color so that's white instead. I thought it would just stand out more. Okay, and you can do that all within the settings. Go to the contact page, and you might have noticed there that the masthead background has changed slightly between the different pages. And here I've got the contact details and within the masthead. But the other thing I really liked is that they provide a certificate for your website. That process of connecting my domain name to this portfolio was pretty easy. It didn't cost extra as well, which I really like. So far, the page is loaded a lot faster than when I was testing it. I'm really happy about that. And like if I was to click on this page, it's pretty fast with how quickly it loaded there for me. I should test this though on different devices because here at home my connection is very fast. But this is what it looks like. This is the live version. Just to go through it again, we've got the portfolio page. This has a collection of pages that you can look at. You've got a masthead at the top with a title and some text. Then I've got an external link to Instagram here in the top left hand side. I've got a page with some text and an image on it. That is the about page, and then I've got a contact page. So that is the website. And if we go back even further, I might be able to go to the welcome page. So the welcome page is another page option that you can create, and I've set this as my home page, but you don't need to. If I wanted this to be my home page, this could be my home page. Okay, and it's all very responsive, and I'll be able to show you once I'm in the editing admin view that I showed you last time. If we look at the left hand side, we've got pages, got integration, themes and settings. There's all sorts, and this is where you want to adjust things either on a global, the whole website level, like this font here called Orbitron. I wanted that to be applied to all the headers and all the, like, see this header, subheader, paragraph and caption. I wanted the header and subheader to be this font, and then I wanted the paragraph to be Open Sans. That's the other font that I use. And you can modify that, so you can have your global settings, and then within your page settings, that's where you can say, well, the default color for the paragraph text is that brown for this particular page, like the the about page, and then you can change that text to whatever. It's up to you, and it depends on your branding, what you want to use. And here there's even the plus symbol, so you can add more to the welcome page. I think a welcome page should be pretty simple. And then this button, that was there by default as well. To modify a button, you just click this little drop down thing, and most elements within Adobe Portfolio will have a drop down. Here we can go to edit button, and then this sidebar thingy will adjust. It gives you some options and what happens when you hover over the button and what happens normally. And then you can always click on this little left arrow in the top left hand corner to go back if you need to. One other thing I like about this is what you're doing here, you can modify and make changes. It won't affect the live site until you publish it. See there, update live site. Oh, okay, you can't see it. Let me hide my camera. That allows you to make changes, to get things the way you want them to. This is all like a working preview. You can still modify things, but it like, as you could see, if I click enter website, it goes through to the portfolio page. And if we go back, also under the button options, edit button, this is where I entered in the text to say enter a website. And that's where you state which page it'll go to when you click the button. And here it just lists all the different pages. I could select the about page, the contact page, whatever, but I figured people want to see my portfolio, so that's the page that this will go to when you select enter website. And it's also the first option when you look at the navigation menu on the top left hand side. So portfolio, go straight there. You got the about page, contact, Instagram external link. Back to pages. This is where you can enter the title. You can change what it says. This one is called Madison. So you can either go from here to change the title. So you go here, you can change it there. You can also change the URL. You can do it this way, or you can of course go here to the drop down menu thing and then edit page info. That's where you can adjust it here. You can add a page description. I think the URL, you still have to do it that way. I'll go back to pages, and then we've got add page password, where you can set a page so that only people who have the password can access the page. You can turn them off so they're not visible. So we'll turn this on. So that's going to make it available. We'll go back to portfolio so we can see. So there it is, 2019 to 2020. We'll go back to the live site and just make sure that that isn't here. So this allows you to make changes on this version of the site that we're looking at. And then when we're really happy with it, that's when we can make it a live site. That's really good. I really like that. We want to password protect that. Let's try that out. Okay, we'll go here, add password. Must be at least 4 characters. Okay. Well, we'll change it to pass instead. So let's update the live site. All right, cool. We're going to go click and view your site, even though I've got open in another window. I'm going to go enter website. We'll click on this, enter password. Okay. PASS pass. And then that loads up the page. Okay, cool. Awesome. Any password protected pages will show up here. Not a big deal. I mean, what you could do is you could set up an image that's just blurry. We don't need the password anymore. So we'll go edit password and we'll go remove password. So we'll get rid of it. I'll show you what I did with these. We'll go into edit page, and this is to modify the cover image, right? So select that drop down menu thing, edit cover image, and then it gives you this where you can resize it, move it around, because it is a different aspect ratio. Now we'll go back to here and go to page covers. So keep an eye out for anything like this. There'll be further options that you can tweak to change aspect ratio right there. Pretty straightforward. And here you can see that I've selected square for the aspect ratio, but you've got 16:9, 7:5, 5:4 for the page covers, so layout options, text container, cover images, what you want to display. For me, I've got page titles, page descriptions. I don't think my page is tall enough to warrant having a back to top button. But here, if we go back to top, then you can see there's this arrow which will allow the page to animate up to the top. What we'll do is we'll go through to the about page. And this is something that is different from everything else that I've demonstrated so far. And what I started off with is I went with, let's go click the plus, and I wanted to add an image. So here we can go plus, and then whether we want some text, and that's where you can just add in text like what we have here. Of course, I don't want to do that. So lots of things you can do. Of course, if you don't like this, then you can go to the drop down. Most things will have that to delete the image, and then that's all gone like that. A lot of this was just me figuring it out, playing around with it. Didn't watch any tutorials online. So I think that's the best way to learn, is just to jump in and give it a go, try it out. If you make a mistake, you can always delete it. That's a good thing about services and things like this. You can delete pages and stuff you've done. There's even an undo option here in the bottom left corner behind the camera. Okay, yeah, so you might be able to see it here just above the green button, bottom left hand side. It works really well too. I've tried some other online services, they have on undos and they don't really work all that well, but this does. Let's try it out. So I'm just going to cut that text and then we'll click undo and voila, how about that? You can resize the images, so there's lots of things you can do. Haven't actually tried this out. You can give it a go, move above. Okay, straightforward. We'll go to that undo button again. You can reorder page content, add text, a link, caption. On the left hand side in the settings, you've got a masthead which you can either turn on or off. I thought, okay, I really want to add some text here, and especially on the portfolio page, because I felt like there should be some kind of introduction. What is this page for someone who's new to my site? I put in like a really brief description about myself and what this page is, and it's just as simple as either turning on or off the masthead. So there, that's what it looked like previously, and then you can turn on the masthead. It will have just a grey background, but you can change that. These are the things that I've enabled. So I've got a title, and if we go to background, well, it gives you an area where you can upload a background. This is where you can reposition it, whether it's center like it is currently, or if you want to modify it a little top left. So there, makes it look a little different from before. Also, if you want it to repeat, this background image is so large I don't really need to do that, whereas you can fix it, and yeah, I don't know what that does. And you might have noticed there, I'll just go back to that where it had masthead options. If you want to go to the background from this part of the settings text, so you can just switch to that rather than going right back and then going into masthead text. You can just jump straight to masthead title, and it just saves you a few extra button clicks. If you want to create an external link in the navigation menu, then you just go to the plus button, and then you can create a page, which is what the about page is, just a blank page. A welcome page, which is what the welcome page is. Lightroom album, I haven't demonstrated that, but I don't really have a purpose at the moment for it either. A collection, which is what the portfolio page, it's a collection of sub pages, and a link, which is what the Instagram page or link is in the navigation menu. And you just go to that, and then you just put in a title, let's say Facebook, and then you can put in facebook.com or whatever external link you want to put in there. You can choose whether it'll open up in a new window or new tab. There's no right or wrong with that one, like most things. Okay, so I'll click cancel, so don't want to do that, or we'll go back. So we'll go to contact form and customize. You can reorder content. It's just that though on the page, and here you can select which fields you want. Form options is where you can specify your email, whatever email you have, your live, your Gmail, your whatever. That is the contact form. We already had a look at the about page, but if you want to change that, pretty straightforward. Just start typing in here, which I like. You have to get a sense for how you want to come across on this page. I want it to be professional, but also kind of laid back, like how I am. We'll go into background fonts. This is where you can modify changes on a global level. You can either specify a color scheme of light or dark, and then I have made further changes like the fonts. So I predominantly want to use the Orbitron font. That's this blocky one that I have here, and then you can have like include the background color. I've gone with black here. This is where you can modify the header. I want the header to be in a white font. That means everything that it's on needs to be very dark, so you need to keep that in mind if you want white text. Okay, so open sans, that's what I want for this part here. The Orbitron font is fine in small doses, but I think when you've got lots of text that just needs to be easier to read, you need a more standard font for large bodies of text like this. So globally, the paragraph font is this brown color. On this page, select the text, and I've modified the color so that it is white there. Otherwise, it would be that brown color instead. I'll go back to Portfolio because there's something else you can do there. I've got it set so that there are these 5 images across. If you don't want 5 images across, you can change that to 3, 4, or whatever value you want. I've found this works or looks good on most different devices. Let's get rid of this page first. We'll get rid of that. Don't need that one. It's our test page. So say goodbye to that one. Right here, all collections, page covers, I think it's under layout. So here you can specify the number of columns. Let's drop that down to 4, 3. Gutters, that's the space in between them. Top margin, there's that gap there, that's the top margin, and then bottom margin. Likewise, it just creates a gap there at the bottom. Up here in the top left hand corner, there is an option for settings, and from the menu is domain name. This is where you can use their one. The main domain name would be myportfolio.com. So if I wanted to, I could have called this cliftonjohnston.myportfolio.com. It's not very professional though, but it's there until you do have a domain name. Up here where it says custom domain name, you could buy or purchase a domain name. So if you have that all figured out, then you could click that link and then go through, purchase it. When I first set this up, it said the site was not secure. Now they handle the SSL part for you, so you don't need to buy a certificate. They do that, which is nice because I actually had a certificate that I could have used, and it's a pain to set SSL, but yeah, you don't need to pay for that. They do it for you on the homepage, and this is where you can specify what the homepage is. In this case, it's the welcome page, and then also the 404 page, broken links, that sort of thing. You can create one which says, oops, there was a mistake, something wrong, please click here. You could create one of those just by creating a new page, put in the text and everything, but I'm just doing it this way. It is probably better, more recommended to set up a 404 page. That way people know that there was something wrong, the page wasn't found, rather than going to the welcome page. Because that could be jarring for someone to think, hey, what happened? What's wrong there? I don't know what happened, right? And I might even create one later on. Social sharing thumbnail. That is what people will see if they're going to share your page somewhere else. We've got site options. There's various other things. You can have a site-wide password protection, so that's available as well. I don't have that on there. I want people to see my portfolio, see everything that's here. And well, there's all sorts. So you can unpublish a site. I do recommend you go through it, have a look. The domain name is something you'll need to figure out, but you can still do everything else. It's not important for you to work on and get your portfolio up and running. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see that there is no link to them. I really like that about this as well, but you can leave it. So it is there by default, but you can go into the options and remove it, put something else in. I just deleted it. I didn't want anything there. Also within the footer, you can put these social media links. So this is my website, my online portfolio where people can check out my work. You can check it out. It is live now. My thoughts on Adobe Portfolio. I like it so far. Pretty happy with it. Of course, I've only been using it for all of about a week. I'll need more time with it to see what I really do and don't like about it, what can be better. Of course, as I use it more, when people contact me, maybe if they encounter difficulties, then I'll know more, be able to add more feedback on it. Cool. Apex. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you next time. Hope you have a good day, good night, wherever you are. My gameplay will get better. It has to eventually, right? Take care. Have a good day, good night. See you later.